Another thing you must learn when you're mediating is you must learn patience. It requires patience, a lot of patience, patience in order to mediate. Because you will get to a point where, to look at the whole thing is going to escalate. You get to a point where, what we call it boiling points. The darker it is, you are sure you are closer to the dawn. Okay? You get to a point in that conflict resolution where you are at the end, at the extreme of that conflict. Emotions are boiling sometimes. You understand me? It is the darkest moment in that conflict where you have a curve to the day.
In my profession, we call it the peak.
Yes.
The climax.
The climax of that conflict. You get there. Most times when you are trying to resolve conflict, you get to the climax of that conflict. And if care is not taken, you will also dissolve everything and say, hey, I'm not interested again. Okay, everybody to attend to Israel. You need a lot of patience at that moment. To wait, watch, listen. And most times it's at that boiling point and climax of the conflict that the truth comes out.
Yeah.
In fact, some people will say, if you want to drive the other person to say what you should not say, get to the climax of the conflict. Okay, try to provoke the person. So while the person is angry and boiling and ranting, the person may say some things he's not supposed to say.
Just like what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, and that can be revealing. Yeah, in a movie, and that can be revealing. Okay, so you listen at that climax moment, at that boiling point. You listen, be patient, hold on to your own personal anger or your own personal emotion. Don't say, hey, I will also explode and start insulting them. What's wrong with you? You are babies, you are good for nothing. Can't you handle yourself and your emotion? And you start lashing at them. You don't want to do that. At those moments, you need to be patient. Patience is very required in resolving conflict. Luke's Gospel 21 verse 19. He said, in your patience possess ye your souls. In your patience possess ye your souls. While you are teaching those that you are resolving conflict for to be patient, you also have to be patient. You have to hold on to yourself. In patience, you have to possess your soul. In patience, take charge of your soul, of your emotions. In patience. Because if you are the one trying to mediate and you lose it, the mediation ends at that moment. So, as a mediator, be patient, and in patience, possess your soul. Now, Revelation tells us something that I think we should look at. Revelation chapter 2, verse 2. It says, I know thy works, and thy labor, and thy patience, and now thou canst not bear them which are evil. And thou hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and hast found them last. What is the key here? Is your patience. In your patience, you have refused to align with the evil. In your patience, you try the liars and find that they are liars. You require patience there. If you are not patient, lie will continue. If you are not patient, yes, falsehood will continue. But if you are patient, in that patience, you'll be able to read in between the lines. In your patience, you'll be able to find out who is lying and who is telling the truth. In your patience, you'll find out who is wrong and who is right. Okay? And don't shy away from finding out who is right and who is wrong. Because most times, like we said, you will see where this one is right and wrong, and where the other person is also right and wrong. Okay? So, because it's often not exclusive to a person or a party in the conflict. Okay? But you want to see, okay, where this person is wrong, where this person is right, where this other person is wrong, where this other person is right. It is in patience that you are able to extract that. You're not saying, hey, yeah, let's rush. I don't have time again. Let's end it here, You can't do that. You have to be patient. Listen to the parties. Hear their parts of the whole story. Then you can come in and say, okay, from my listening to both of you, I found out this. Now we can solve this problem doing this by doing that. Go to the law court, you'll see that the judges patiently listens. They listen to the lawyers. Okay, the defendants will be listened to. Okay, the accused will be listened to. They will listen patiently. Afterwards, they will listen to witnesses patiently. You don't see a lawyer, a judge that will just come and say, hey, what is it? One person talks and she says, okay, this is my judgment. No, you can't have that. And sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years of listening to the cases to know the facts of the matter. They're not just rushing through it. So as a mediator, you can't rush through the case. You have to listen and get all your facts right. So that when you're talking from an informed position.
Yeah.
Very important that you're patient. Possess your soul in patience. Find out the facts in patience. Know those who are liars in patience. Know those who are telling the truth in patience. Find out the faults. Find out what they've done right. So that when you're talking, at the end of it all, you can make informed judgments. Do you understand that? Now, when you are able to win your brother or reconcile warring parties, you'll be satisfied knowing that you have done your job. And in fact, it's one of the blessings or blessedness of being a peacemaker, that you have been able to create peace among warring factions. You have been able to create peace among brothers who hitherto could not look at themselves. I saw a video earlier today, of the singing sensation P Square. They've been, in conflict for a long while, and recently they just reunited. So everyone involved in that resolution of conflict will be proud that they played their role and their part. Because listen, great relationships can be threatened. You see a man and his wife full of love, always about each other, and suddenly you see a conflict tearing them apart. You see business partners that are very committed to the business, very close to themselves, and before you know it, one conflict just tears the business apart. You see political affiliation, ministry affiliations dissolved just by little conflicts. Great things, great promises just end because of sometimes insignificant conflicts. But listen, once you are involved in restoring peace, you'll be satisfied when you see the fruits of the peace you have created. When you see those businesses thriving, when you see those marriages thriving, when you see those relationships thriving, you are satisfied that you are part of this. It's another blessedness. And that blessing you derive from creating peace. But more than that, God rewards peacemakers. Rewards peacemakers. Because Jesus is called the Prince of Peace. So when you make peace, you are doing his job for him. Okay, so he's happy that you're doing his job for him. Do you understand that? Okay, so he blesses you. So wherever there is peace, there is a blessing. Psalm 133. Wherever there is a peacemaker also, he enjoys the blessings of peace. Did you see that? The peacemaker enjoys the blessing of peace. Most times, people you mediate for will remember you in their good moments. Okay, if not for Pastor Phil, if not for Pastor Peace, if not for this man, if not for that man, okay, we won't have restored our relationship, our business relationship, our ministry relationship, our family relationships, and we won't be enjoying what we're enjoying today, so they will remember you.
As I'm listening to you, something crossed my mind that there's actually no age limit to a peacemaker.
Yeah.
If, for instance, you are in a company where your bosses are having issues, as a believer that is led by the Spirit of God, you are not too young to mediate.
Or insignificant.
You are not insignificant to bring solution and mediation, to mediate in that issue. You are not too young. Even if you find yourself in your family, you might be the youngest in the family, and your parents are loggerhead. You don't think you are too young to mediate. Because I remember when I was younger, I stayed with my elder brother at a point. And sometimes when himself and his wife, when they are having issues, I was younger. I was around maybe 14, 15, you know. And I will call the wife and I will tell her, from my own little experience or from my own little knowledge, observation, I will call her and I will talk to her. Believe me, when her husband comes, she will go talk to the husband and say, if not for me, she will even mention my name. If not for me, she will not even come around. She won't even talk to him. And then I will now tell her that you're such a fool that is even a small girl that is settling this matter for you. You see your life. It's very funny, but what I'm trying to say is, don't ever think
can come
that
from
too
anybody.
young. Yes.
Yeah.
No man is an island.
And peace can come from anybody.
Peace can come from the old and from the young.
Yes.
As long as you have the Spirit of God, peace can come from you.
That's it.
So don't ever think, I'm not of age, I'm not ready to, I can't talk. What can I contribute to the conflict in my family?
And that's the case. You know, I remember the story of Job. You know, Job and his friends and Elihu, you know, who was younger. You know, so he waited for them to say what they were going to say because they were older. But at the end of what they've said, what they could say, Elihu came up and made his own contributions to it. He said, yeah, I waited for you people to hear what you say, but I didn't really find, you know, truth or wisdom in what you have said. So can we look at it like this? And Elihu said some very, very important and, you know, and cogent things in that book of Job. You need to go and read that guy. Very wise. Okay? So he didn't say because I'm too young, the old ones have said, I will not say anything, or they have said it or no. He made his own suggestions. He made his own input. And I tell you the truth, out of everything everybody said in the book of Job, I got blessed by the things Elihu said. Okay, go and read about it in the book of Job and you'll see many things he said. Okay, for example, he made Job to see that you are not just too just. Okay, there are still certain things in your life, okay, that gave root or gave place for the devil to come in, you know, and afflict you. Okay, and he mentioned some of the things that Job was doing, okay, that could have brought those afflictions. Yes, you may say, okay, it was God that allowed it, but you see, sometimes God, not even sometimes, there must be a ground.
Just like you said,
there must be a ground.
You know, if not even the Bible says when you are drawn away, it is not
when you are tempted.
When you are tempted, it's not God that is tempting you. It's not God that is tempting you.
But you're actually drawn away by your lust.
You're lost.
Yeah. So Elihu was able to bring out some of those things for Job to see. That Job, you can never say to God that God, how can you, you know, allow this to happen to a just man and make God a liar and make God unjust? Have you looked at this area of your life? You know, and Job saw. So there are many things Elihu said there that, you know, that blessed me as an individual.
Though very young.
Yeah, though very young. Though very young. Okay, but those words blessed me as an individual. So no matter how young you are, you can make inputs, you can make contributions. That's as valid as what the older ones will bring on the table.
Okay, we believe you have really learned a lot from what we discussed tonight. We want you to go and practice it, because blessed are the peacemakers, for they are the children of God. Yeah. You are a child of God, so put to practice peacemaking. Until we come to you again next week, remain blessed and bring peace to your world. God bless you.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.